Hey everybody, this is Blue. I hope everybody's doing good today. I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the little decision I made and I'm working it through. But first, the disclaimer. Role-playing games are meant for everybody to play, everybody to have fun and enjoy. But we're all unique people. What works for me might not work for you. There are people that are going to like the crispy games, like D&D and Knave and all that. And if that's what you like, cool. As long as you are happy and having fun, and the people in your group are also happy and having fun, that's really all that matters. But there are people like myself who like crunchy games. We like the rules, we like the lore. We look at Tolkien and we go, we can do better. And so we have to develop a lot of lore, rules, structure in our games because we want to be able to face a situation and go, well, my character can do this, this, and this pretty good, this not so well, and all that. And we also want to create original characters. Now this is where I think games like Rolemaster are better than D&D. D&D is a class-based system, which means that their classes, their professions, are cookie cutter, they're pre-cut. There is no deviation. The only way that you can get a different on a profession is if you pick a subclass. And I think that's extremely limiting and boring because everybody will know, well, his character is a druid, circle of the moon, whatever it is. And so this is what they're going to have at 3rd level, 4th level, blah, blah, blah. There is no surprise to it. And so I find that boring. And I can't picture people playing that same subclass multiple times and going, yeah, this is still exciting because it's the same profession, same levels of progression. There's nothing ooh about it. And so Rolemaster's better. Rolemaster is a skill-based system, which means that you develop your character, you get your development points, and you can buy skills per level. And so you can choose from up to 300 skills in some combination for your character to make that character unique. And so I've been working on my spell list for my game because, as you know, since I'm reworking professions, creating my own professions and all that, I have to decide how I'm going to handle spell lists. Because the wonderful thing about Rolemaster is they got a crap ton of spell lists. There are some professions, thanks to option rules, they could have 20 to 25 spell lists to choose from to work with. And the bad thing about that is then some professions just have so many spell lists, and it's like, how do you limit that? Because for a Rolemaster, they say you got 6 base spell lists, and that's what your PC has to work with at first. And I didn't like that because if you got so many spell lists, and I'm the type of person that likes to go, well, man, I want to have that spell list because that's new. I haven't used that one yet. With this combination of other spell lists, that could be quite powerful. Yeah, I want to do that. And so, whereas Rolemaster was saying, here's your spell lists, pick your 6. Here's your 6. And I didn't like that. And so I decided that because I wanted all my PCs and all my friends' PCs to have uniqueness, nothing cookie cutter, I decided that I was going to go through and give the magical professions spell lists that are related to their professions and that they could have as many as fit in relationship with their profession. there's some good and bad in that, because some professions, especially some of those pure spell list users, they have a lot of spell lists, which is fine because you can't have real balance in the game anymore. But the problem was, how do I write down all these spell lists? Because like for your witch, warlock, wizard, and a few others, they have 20 to 30 spell lists each. And so that was limiting. So I'm going, do I just do 12? And it's like, no, I don't want to do this. And the other option, if I was to do something like Dungeons and Dragons, was, well, let's just create a different profession. A variant of the wizard will be this profession, same cost, but they have a different combination of spell lists. And I'm just going, no, that would take up too much paperwork and all that. I know, that's odd hearing from me. But I decided that if it's a related spell list, that they could use it. And so, go big or just go away. I support crunchy type games. And so I decided to create my own book just to list professions and their spell lists. Okay. And so on this is lists. There we go. This is this first start for the cleric, and he's got 20 spell lists on this, and I'm not done this yet. And so as a person progresses on that PC with, let's say, a cleric, he has to start off with 6 base spell, his 6 initial spell lists. And for me, the rule is going to be up until level 10, those are the only 6 spell lists that they can learn. Then once they hit level 10, they can do all the remaining spell lists for the PC. Which means that the PC is going to, no two PCs should be identical. You don't know what spell combinations they have, what skills combinations that they have. You have something unique. And so this is why I think going big is better than going light. But if you want to go light, you want to keep it basic, simple, that's fine if that's what you want. But like I said, I have a book just to list what professions get what spell lists. Okay? But I want to make this a grand role-playing experience for myself and my friends. And so, we talk about magic weapons and all that, magical items. I created a book just for that. This is 150 pages, and it will have all the spell magical items that I could come up with written down with some detail. This creates lore because, well, how did this weapon get created? Well, this is how, this is who, and when. This adds lore to the game. Well, if you got people making things, and you got to have your big bads, their cohorts, and all this other people, you need a book for NPCs. And so, again, this is 150 pages, and it's just going to have all the different NPCs that I could come up with. This is also a great place to put a section devoted just to the lesser gods of the world. So then I have a reference. I can easily go through the table of contents going, okay, the gods of the gnomes are right here. It's on page 40. Go to page 40, and there I have my quick reference. It adds to the lore and detail of the game. It's a good thing. Species law. Now, the one thing I was very disappointed in learning about, I know it shouldn't affect me that much, but I learned that D&D, the Player's Book, 2024, they only had 10 playable races in their game. And I think that is limiting. I think that is boring. I think that is utter caca. I personally believe that if it is a sentient race, you should be able to play it as a character, right? And so I went through and I created, let's see, I have a total of 150 races in my game. And then using the AI arts, I created the book for it. So I have the stat blocks, images of all my characters, and so this adds detail to the game. To note, for some of you, the world that I'm working on, the one that I'm showing all the other books to, there's only going to be 40 different races from this book, so we're saying a third of them that are going to show up in the game. Some of these other creatures, they are for the astral plane, the void, and all that. So not everything is going to be on this world. And then the final thing I created, and I actually suggest if you can do this, do this. I have created a book for just short stories, and in this there's 20 little subsections. I haven't filled this one out yet. Of short stories. Each section has 5 pages, and you just write a little short story to it. For me, this works great because at my job, I have times where it's quiet. I can easily pull this out, write a little short story, and each time I do that, I'm adding lore to the world as a whole. And so I can create 30 or 40 different little short stories, and I have a lot of lore then built into my world. And so there are people like Bob the Builder who's not going to like this, because Bob is a minimalist and he likes the crispy games. And like I said, if that's what he wants, that's what makes him happy, he can do that. No problem. But I think if you want the challenge, if you want details, if you want to be able to sink your teeth into something, that needs to have substance. I got to use an analogy here. Sorry about that. It is like a steak. Now, you can go the crispy route and get yourself a veggie burger, one of those tofu specials. Or if you actually want to enjoy it and have a great taste, you can go do crunchy. You go grab all this stuff, get it assembled and all that, and you have yourself a porterhouse steak with a little A1 on the side. Okay? It's what makes you happy. Okay? So I just wanted to give everybody a little kind of an update on how I'm doing on my game, and maybe give you guys a few ideas, because the one thing that I decided was that I wasn't going to limit myself on anything on this game. If I wanted to create characters, I wanted to keep a log, so I built an NPC book. I wanted to have a book available because I come up with a lot of cool magical items and all that. I wanted to have a book and put them in there. And so, you can grab yourself a notebook and just write this information down. Just grab like a 5-subject notebook and put in it like magical items, and have each one being a different level, because for some games like Rolemaster, they divide up their magical items in their power. I mean, is it a modest weapon, a strong weapon, a potent weapon, a legendary, or is it an artifact? And so, and there I have a book, for it. So, if something comes up, I can easily grab a book, I can look it up, find it. There you go, guys. You guys are facing this, and have fun. It's kind of fun also for a GM. Now, GMs have to have fun too. Sometimes it's a challenge. Sometimes it can be a little stressful, you know, when you got to come up with something on the fly. But if you have the resources available, you know, having all your books right there, right next to you, you can easily go roll those dice and see, you know, you're doing a random encounter table and going, all right, you guys are now facing against 4 mud beasts, you know, in the swamp. Good luck. You know, you got some fun. The more resources you have available, the more you can add to the game. When you have a game like Knave, which if I remember it was just 1 page front back, that's all you can do. You know, I think they only had like 3 stats in it. I think that's just too limiting for us. If you want the challenge and you want to be creative, you gotta go big or just go away. All right. So everybody, please take care, be at peace, and put your comments down below.